Genderbender is an episode of The X-Files in which Mulder goes to the alien spa treatment. But not that one. But first, the cold open. The episode begins in a 90s dance club that primarily only plays music from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air soundtrack, and he comes upon a patron of the club comes upon a woman who gives him some of the best cow eyes I've ever seen on this show. The woman tries to get his attention, but he goes over to one of those old school horoscope machines. Now, if you're a child of the 90s, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, but if you're any younger, you might not. In the days before social media and smartphones and internet, etc., there were these machines in clubs and grocery stores that would tell your horoscope, and I would love to see, as a student of astrology, I would love to see the horoscopes on this machine, like, Leo, your light is shining bright, let others gather to the light inside of yourself, also look out for the aliens, trying to chunk you into the clay mud bath. It would be probably one of the most specific horoscopes ever. So this woman seduces this club patron, and the next scene we see them clasping hands, which is the X-Files version of climax. This feels like one of those warning videos they would show you in church for, like, as far as purity culture goes, where the absolute second someone even thinks of doing hanky-panky, they suffer a horrifying death, which is what happens to this club goer. He chokes on some clay-looking substance. More on that in a bit. And so then in the next, we see this person who killed him, and though it is a woman, we see the legs of a man. And those legs, holy shit, I don't care if they belong to a man or a woman. Those are some hot-ass legs. They look like they belong to Dr. Manhattan or Wolverine emerging from the dry ice in the Weapon X project. Like, Jesus Christ, this alien has been hitting the Stairmasters, all I gotta say. And he also looks like Iceman. So I'm like, killed by Iceman. It's a shame. The next scene shows Mulder and Scully investigating the death of this club patron, and the detective who is debriefing them says, "Gee whiz, that must have been some rolling to hay." And then Mulder and Scully make eye contact for 5 minutes long. And then Scully's like, "I wonder why we were called in on this. This doesn't sound like an X-File to me." And then the detective's like, "Oh, did your partner not tell you about all these spooky details related to the case?" And I'm like, of course he didn't. He's fucks Mulder. He never tells his partner fucking anything. I almost wonder if, and then in the next scene you see Mulder like pontificating with Scully over the over his famous projector slides, and I almost wonder if he doesn't tell Scully this sometimes life or death, make it or break it information about these cases, because they'll just ruin his little slides and it would break his heart. So he is describing this killer to Scully, who seems to just kill with sex. And Scully's expression tells you everything you need to know, especially when Mulder starts saying that these pheromones this person's giving off can cause someone to go into anaphylactic shock and have a massive coronary. And we know from other episodes, like Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose, and some episodes in the revival, that hint Scully is a very much a dominatrix with Mulder. And you see it in her eyes in this scene. She's like licking her lip like, ooh, okay, Mulder likes it a little rough. So then Mulder and Scully are trying to figure this out, and they say this killer is unarmed but extremely attractive, which is exactly the way Scully likes her little submissive Mulder, right? So then Mulder says that this clay was found on the victims, and it is only found in a certain part of Massachusetts, and it is mined by this group of people called the Kindred. And they are like the Amish. They live a very simple subsistence life with not much technology outside of the 19th century. And he looks Scully in the eye and he says, "They are known for their abstinence and pure Christ-like ways, but it looks like one of them has a little dirt, clay, under their fingernails. And the way he makes eye contact with Scully, and I'm like, that is dead ass Dana Scully, like this good little Catholic schoolgirl who secretly loves to be the dominatrix with her little submissive spooky boy. So they go to this place called Stevenson, Massachusetts, and they meet this old couple. Now in season 1, Mulder and Scully will come upon these just NPC, these side characters who don't really have any influence on the plot, and they act so suspiciously weird. You're like, I think they're supposed to be the X-File. And that's what this old couple is. The minute they meet the old lady and they say, have you heard of these killings? She says, there aren't many killings up here. And I said, that's a strange way to phrase that answer. Now, her husband seems like a super chill guy. Then he says, like, oh, the kindred don't like people, strangers coming around them or taking their picture. But what do you know? He has a literal box of framed photos of the kindred. And I'm like, this guy is just literally, don't be suspicious. So then we see the kindred come up in their with their horse and buggy. And Scully gets really excited because I don't know if you know this about Dana Scully, but she is a bona fide horse girl. She is a My Little Pony fanatic. I call this episode My Little Scully, My Little Scully. And then she goes out and she starts talking to the young man who is like handling the horses of the kindred as they go shop in the feed store. Mulder also follows them into the feed store, and he looks at Scully and he says, do you want anything from the feed store? In this really sweet, like, cute voice. And you would think Mulder is a prince in this episode, but he's not, and we'll get to that in a minute. Now, Scully is like petting this pony and talking to this guy. His name's Brother Andrew, and he's this young kinsman, I guess that's what we're going to call him, about Scully's age, or around her age. And Scully's patting the horse, and she says, wow, this pony's great. It's so pretty. She's like, what's her name? What does she eat? Is she huge? She's asking all these questions, and the horse hates her. As soon as Jillian starts patting that horse, the horse is like, no way. Get your hands off of me, girl. So Scully is like, Scully and ponies are like toddlers and cats. Like, she loves ponies, but they don't like her. Okay, and I entitled, Scully's approaching this guy, Brother Andrew, and it says, I wrote in my notes, me, an introvert, trying to make friends. And she, like, it is very much how Aquarians make friends. I'm an Aquarian, like, just based on common interests. It's like, I like ponies, you like ponies, we're best friends. And I just want to say, the direction her and Brother Andrew's relationship went was sick and disgusting, and I think pointless in this story. Turning Brother Andrew into a rapist that just assaults Scully is just another, like, pointless reason for this show to put Scully through more trauma. Like, Scully being assaulted in this episode does nothing to furthering the plot. However, I think that they could have taken the character of Brother Andrew and just not put in this whole nasty thing of, like, sexual assault. So, like, for example, what if Brother Andrew was just this guy, and he was an alien, and he just really wanted to learn about Earth, and he, asked Scully to show him. It was like a whole new world. I'm like, that would have been such a wonderful and wholesome episode. And again, like, Scully's sexual assault, by, it has nothing, it does not further the plot at all. So, so anyway, we get into this really nasty, subplot where Brother Andrew, like, takes Scully's hand, and they start to have thumb sex, because in the X-Files, when you hold hands, that's equal to sex. Again, this feels like a video you watch at a super conservative evangelical church, where they're just showing you like, oh, if you dare do this, you'll get pregnant or die. Like, the X-Files universe, it very much relies on like the cooties, the cooties philosophy. Then we see Mulder and Scully venturing up into the mountains to look for the kindred. I wrote in my notes, just stop going into the fucking woods. Nothing good ever happens for you two when you go in the woods. Just stay home. Don't go camping. Like, pro tip, don't go camping with Mulder. And of course, Mulder and Scully are rolled by these kindred people. It's funny because it implies that the woods of Massachusetts are just crawling with these alien Amish people who will roll you on sight. It's like The Outsiders with aliens. But they're like killing people with like this crystal clay, so it's not Breaking Amish, it's more like Breaking Bad Amish. Oh yeah. Okay, so then they meet their leader. Take me to your hot leader. Her name is Sister Abby, and the camera zooms in on Scully's face. And Scully has a crush, and Scully's like, ooh, she, back when she was discussing this case with Mulder in the X-Files office, she said, is the killer a he or a she? And then when she sees Sister Abby, you see Scully's like lazy eye just twitching, like she's immediately in love with that woman. And she's like, Mulder, their leader's a cool lesbian. Oh, please, can we stay? Also, Scully's hair is getting frizzy, and you know how much I love that. So then the kindred like take them to their town, and they're really super cool. And they go into this big room to eat dinner, and they meet this guy, and he keeps coughing. And I have very weak lungs. I had 2 cases of severe pneumonia when I was very young, and radiation treatment for lymphoma also just scars the hell out of your lungs. So I have very like delicate lungs. So if I get like one like little cold, I am that friend that is this guy just going like at the dinner table, and they're like, Jesus Christ, raccoons, come on, just give us a second. And Scully and Brother Andrew are like making eyes at each other, like something monumental has passed between them. And again, this is just like 6th grade, where like if someone catches you holding hands with someone of the opposite sex, they're like, oh, you're immediately married, yes, and you're gonna get pregnant, like this is gonna happen. So they start talking to Sister Abby, and Mulder's like, we have pictures to show you, and Sister Abby is like, well, we don't allow pictures up here. And I'm like, what about the creepy general store owner? See, I told you, this guy and his wife are in on this shit. Okay, they're also, this episode is also trying to push a love triangle between Mulder, Scully, and Brother Andrew, and I call it a love triangle because the episode is trying so hard to get it there, and they have no fucking chemistry. But I'll tell you what the love triangle should be is Scully, Mulder, and Sister Abby, because she is obsessed with this woman. I tell y'all what, get yourself someone who looks at you the way this little 5'0" FBI agent looks at this Amish alien. Okay? There's also a scene where a guy like trash talks Mulder and Scully, and Sister Abby like makes him stand, and she's like, say you're sorry, say the apology, and it's very dominatrix, and you just see Scully over there like blushing and little hearts in her eyes. She's like, oh my god, she's a BDSM Amish. Okay, so the old guy coughing like collapses, and Scully's like, I have to save him, I am a medical doctor. And Sister Abby's like, do not interfere. And she says, do not interfere when we put Grandpa in the magical mud bath, which is what they do. They take him into a cave underneath their barn, and they chunk him in a clay mud bath. Now, I love the way this episode like keeps cutting back from like the alien Amish to like the 90s nightclub, and it's like in a sitcom, and it's like cutting back and forth between like the jive party your parents made you go to and like the super cool kids house party. Again, we just see like this guy Marty, who is the alien going around killing people, and they're just up to their nonsense, you know, chasing more people around horoscope machines at the club and so forth. It says Mulder and Scully are walking through the woods, and Mulder's like, well, that's an interesting way of life. And I think Mulder has like a cottagecore effect where like he wants an agrarian rusticated life, like he loves the idea of it. But if you got Mulder out in the woods for like 5 minutes, he's just useless. And Scully does not like to camp, but she will, because at the age of like what, 2, her dad took her out in the woods and taught her to hunt her own food. The point is, if you get lost in the woods, make sure you're with Mulder and Scully, not just Mulder, because you'll die faster with Mulder. They sneak up to the barn, and Scully looks through the crack where the horses are, and the horses still hate her. They still go, get away from me, you creepy redheads. And this is when Mulder finds the alien spa. When he is abducted by the aliens and taken to the alien spa chair at the end of season 7, I always want Mulder to like look at the aliens, and he's like, no, I signed up for the alien clay Amish therapy treatment, not this. And then Brother Andrew like tells Scully like, come with me, and she does. And this is like, disclaimer, this is where this guy like tries to essay her, and again, it's just another reason, it's just another way to traumatize Scully. Like, she gets traumatized so much in the show. I'm like, for a story that does not require this for the plot, like, why are we doing this except to abuse her, which I think is exactly what it's for. And again, like, if this story was rewritten without that icky angle, I think it could have been such a wholesome and great episode. It would have been one of my favorites because it has so much nutty, silly stuff in it. It would have been like The Unnatural, but instead we got this horseshit plotline that just ruins everything. And this episode is kind of ballin' in that it's shot beautifully. The shots of like the barn illuminated and the cave, it looks so interesting, and the crop circles at the end of the episode, and the town and the kindred people, like, it's just really neat. And like I said, like, the X-Files had a way of like having these episodes. The Postmodern Prometheus is another great example, or Small Potatoes, where they had this wonderful episode. It was beautifully shot, it was cleverly written, it was very funny, it was very heartfelt, but they had to insert this icky SA subplot. Like, they had to. I always call it a goat turd in a glass of Chardonnay is exactly what that feels like. It just ruins this beautiful episode that could have been great. So, Brother Andrew asks Scully how his buddy Marty is killing these people, and Scully's like, well, obviously through his smoking hot bisexuality. And then, of course, this guy tries to initiate thumb sex with Scully again, and Mulder comes in there, and at first Mulder is a very good boy, okay? He pulls Brother Andrew off of Scully, and he shakes him, he takes Scully out, he, like, comforts her, he gets her a cup of coffee, he's like, I'm gonna be here for you and support you through this and just take care of you, because that's what you need. And I'm like, Mulder, you got so close to getting it, buddy, and then you dropped the ball like a hot potato. So Scully's like, I feel really embarrassed, and Mulder's like, well, you were in there about to do the wild thing. And first of all, when he says wild thing, I'm going to throw up in my mouth a little bit. But he's like, you were about to do this with this stranger. And I'm like, well, what fucking choice did she have? She was inebriated. She couldn't do anything because this guy had done his clay magic on her. So anyway, Mulder's all about the victim blaming. Then he shames Scully for trusting Brother Andrew initially to talk to him. And I'm like, Mulder, you are literally out there fucking around with Deep Throat as we speak. You have no right to judge this woman. It's like in Darkness Falls where Mulder just trusts the terrorist guy. Yeah. So then Mulder goes back in. He tells Scully about what he found in the alien spa. He touches this like thin film that's kind of gelatinous and it looks like a breast implant. And then he gets in the clay bath and eats it. And I'm like, my God, he's just like a toddler. Like, Mulder, that's what's killing the people. You just said that. Then the guy who was coughing wakes up. And I feel so sorry for this alien. Like, you wake up super refreshed and you were like, wow, that spa was super refreshing. And there's this Cho just looking over you, like staring at you ominously. And you're like, oh my God, who the fuck are you? Then Mulder says that the guy, I was in there with him and his face was different. And I'm like, of course it was, Mulder. He was terrified. He saw you looking over him. So then, Marty is still running around causing chaos and they meet up with this guy. And he is played by Nicholas Lee, who plays Alex Krycek later on in the show, beginning in season 2. And I remember the summer me and my middle school buddies all got together, and we all decided that this guy here was named Michael Krycek, and he was Alex Krycek's twin brother. And I always want Mulder to bring this up to Alex Krycek throughout the show, where he's like, hey man, I know we're at a alien Russian gulag, but back in 1992, did you have a twin brother by any chance? So then they question Michael Krycek and they track down Marty. And this guy is running around in his whitey-tighties like a toddler who's escaped their mom mid-dress. Just running around sweater, pullover sweater, no pants, like Tom Cruise in frisky business. Frisky alien business. That's what I'm calling this. Mulder and Scully they are tag teaming this alien. Like, he knocks Scully out, she falls to the floor, she's like, I'm okay, Mulder. And then Mulder gets knocked out by this alien. He's like, Scully, get him. Like, and he's like, Mulder's just lying lifelessly in the hall, and he's like, yeah, Scully, I'll hang back, I'll catch him later. And then Scully corners Marty, and of course, Brother Andrew intervenes. And Scully's voice is so sad and full of despair as he approaches her. I want to break this guy's face. And then, of course, he knocks her out. And then all the kindred come and, like, their shadows disappear on the walls. Like, what are they, the demons from The Princess and the Frog? And they go back to the kindred's farm. And Mulder finds the alien spa door filled in. And he's like, oh shit, how will I ever get that iridescent glow to my skin again? And they find a giant crop circle where all the aliens kissed off. And I always wonder why the X-Files didn't do more with crop circles. Seems like they would. But, yeah. So that is Gender Bender. And we will be seeing y'all later. I hope y'all have a happy new year. Woo!